stopping by my channel. I have a review for you guys today on the new Maybelline's the Nude palette. This has been available in the US for maybe a month or two now, but it did just recently launched here in Canada land, and I found mine for $13.99 at Shoppers Drug Mart. It took me 3 different stops to find this sucker. I went to 3 different drugstores. They were sold out, and then there were 2 at the last drugstore that I tried, and I grabbed it. So I think these are a hot commodity right now. Every store that I went to reassured me that they are restocking them if you are looking for them. $13.99 here in Canada. According to some other YouTubers that I've been watching, blogs I've been reading, I believe it retails for $9.99 in the US. The packaging is nice. I do really like the packaging. It's thin. I mean, it's thinner, just a little bit thinner than my iPhone with the OtterBox on it. So it's nice and compact. It does have like a snap closure. I would definitely travel with this. It's not gonna like fly open on you or anything. You might worry about cracking the plastic, maybe just wrap it in a towel or something, but I would definitely be okay traveling with this. It doesn't have a mirror, which I was kind of like, meh, I would like to have a mirror just for convenience sake. It did come with a sponge tip applicator that I chucked just because I never use them and they're constantly falling out, and then like my cats get them and my kids get them, so I was just kind of like, This palette does have 12 neutral shades, and you do have a nice mix of shimmer and matte, which I was really excited about. I do like to have a nice combination of both those finishes. This palette does have 12 neutral shades, and you do have a nice mix of shimmer and matte, which I was really excited about. I do like to have a nice combination of both those finishes. Now, the cool thing about the way that Maybelline has laid out or designed this palette is that they have done it actually in quads, duos, and trios. So if you take a close look, each of these 4 is supposed to kind of equal a quad. So you've got one, and this one, and then this one. And then if you also look at it this way, you've got nice duos, and then you could also break them up into trios. So 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. The only one that I don't really see working that well is this trio right here. I feel like it's a little bit light. Like I'd like to have a darker color. I mean, you could maybe use this taupey shade as an all-over lid color, inner highlight, and brow highlight, but you know, I do like about the way that they've designed this though is that I think it would be great for a beginner. When you start to look at it in the quadrants or the duos, you can definitely see how those would kind of pair nicely together. And if you're someone who struggles with, oh gosh, I don't know which color to put where, then this might be a nice little setup for you. The other thing I like about this palette is that it does offer a nice range of cool and warm tone shadows. Today I went for this quadrant right here, and I got kind of a cool tone smoky look by using these colors. I just have to say right off the bat, the consistency of these formulas is not across the board. There are some hits, there are some misses in this palette for me. I don't think that every single one of these shadows is 100% amazing, nor do I think all of them are complete fails by any means. But what I did notice when I first opened this up, I started swatching them just willy-nilly, and at a first glance, I mean, you're probably not even going to see that. Like, this color right here was the first one that I swatched, and honestly, at a first glance, I was like, oh, this is not, I'm not impressed. It was very blotchy, it was streaky, it didn't have a lot of color payoff. Then I kept kind of playing with them, and then like particularly this one I thought was really pretty just at a first swatch. Then I decided to lay down lay down just a layer of primer on my hand and then go to town swatching them all, because I've decided that I should probably be using primer before I swatch things. It made a big difference with the Essence palettes that I showed you guys in my last video. The pictures that I'm going to show you are these swatched with a primer. So I did use these bottom 2 here, the black on the outer V. Not the most pigmented black in my collection, but if you just want like a bit of a subtle smoky eye, I think it's just fine. The kind of silvery, cool-toned, shimmery shade that I used all over my lid today, I really did have to build that up to get the payoff that I did. It's pretty, but like at a first glance, hopefully you can see, it doesn't give you a ton of color payoff. If I wasn't just reviewing this palette today, I probably would have put down a base like one of the Maybelline color tattoos in, I can't remember the name of it, but I do have one that's like an icy white color. I probably would have put that down first just to intensify this. On its own, it did take probably about like four goes of me kind of like dipping it in, patting it on, dipping it in, patting it on to get it to this kind of light shade here. Positives to this palette are that it is compact. I do really like the packaging, and I like how it's laid out. I think this would be great for a beginner. If my daughter was at an age where she was like, Mom, I want to start playing with makeup, I'd be like, here you go. This is a great place for you to start. If you are a makeup lover and you just want to have this in your collection because it's one of the first major drugstore palettes, I get it. That's kind of why I bought it. I wouldn't say like, yes, 100% you need this palette, but I wouldn't say that I regret buying it. You know what I mean? It's one of those like, yeah, it's okay. It's just okay. I will reach for it. I will use it, but I'm not like singing to the mountains that everyone needs to go buy it. You know what I mean? Another thing that I did want to mention really quickly is one of my favorite drugstore palettes, which I've talked about before, is the Maybelline Eye Expert Wear, is that how you say it? Quad in Chai Latte. A lot of these colors are very similar, if not identical, to the ones in this palette. So I'm just going to swatch Maybelline's The Nudes palette on the top and then put the ones that I think are dupes on the bottom. Just keep that in mind. They are very similar. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Please leave me a comment and let me know what your thoughts are on this palette, especially if you picked it up. I'd love to know, or let me know what drugstore palettes in general you are loving. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Take care of each other, and I'll see you soon.